AITAH for letting my kids loot my brother's house to prove my point. My brother and his family came for a visit last month. My kids and I play with Lego, and we have fun leaving little dioramas around my house. Just silly stuff like a fight between Iron Man and Darth Vader on the loot llama. It's just our way of leaving Easter eggs around the house. My nephew really liked them and decided to take a few home. When we noticed they were missing, I asked my brother to bring them back. He said that it was just kids being kids and that he would them back the next time we saw each other. I saw him for coffee and I reminded him beforehand that I wanted all our stuff back. He forgot to bring the toys. Okay, game on. We went over to his place for a BBQ. I told my kids that unless all our stuff was returned to us when we got there, literally anything in the house was fair game. Like the godless barbarians they are, they went to town. When we left, I don't think there were any remotes, small electronics, or beer mugs left at his house. I actually had to sneak the dog back into the house before we left. I started getting calls on our way home. I ignored them. When I got home, I returned his calls. He said a bunch of stuff was missing from his house. I said I would check with the kids. He said that I fucking well knew what happened and that he wanted his shit back. I said I would box it up and return it the next time we saw each other, as long as we got our Lego back. He was at my house with my Lego later that evening. He had even accidentally included stuff that wasn't ours. I returned it and his stuff. I told him that this is how we would be dealing with his kid in the future. He is pissed off that he had to make a special trip to return my stuff. My parents think that there is a huge difference between an 8-year-old taking Lego minifigures and a couple of teenagers pillaging their uncle's house. AITAH. AITAH for getting his hopes up and then telling him I had an abortion and serving divorce papers? I've hit my breaking point. I hit it a while ago, but I totally snapped. I have a surgery that will make my entire life so much easier. It's needed, but not an emergency. So I've been on the wait list for a couple months and probably still will be until March. Anyway, my soon-to-be ex-husband has known about this surgery since like the first couple weeks of this year. I begged him to get snipped. My body can't handle birth control anymore, and he refuses to wear condoms. So that was the compromise, and he just never did it. Well, 2 months ago, my already psychotic period was late, and I was pissed. Pregnancy test was positive. It was the first time we had had sex in months, but my husband was for sure he never finished that night, and I must have been cheating on him. He went into this huge pissed-off rage and wanted paternity tests for all our kids, and I better call their real dads to come take care of them. He said this to our kids' faces. We left. I went to my doctor and asked for her to do a blood test to see the paternity of the baby, and then to give me abortion pills because I couldn't do this again. I almost died during my last birth. After I took the pills and confirmed I wasn't pregnant anymore, I filed for divorce, and when all the paternity tests came back that he is in fact their dad, he started being so sweet and saying he was sorry for how he acted and how I know how he questioned his daughters. Paternity, yeah, he has now done this with all of his kids, and how I shouldn't take it so hard. I handed him the divorce papers, told him I had an abortion, and he can stay the hell away from me and the kids. He's been texting me nonstop since. I'm a bitch. How could I kill his baby? How dare I get his hopes up and then pull this shit? How now he has to tell his parents that I'm not pregnant when he already told them I was. Then asked who was going to take care of me after my surgery, because no one will want to watch the kids and take care of me because no one gives a fuck about me. So I told him all communication will be through my emails and blocked him. AITAH. AITAH for pretending I didn't know my ex. I-29F was in a secret relationship with Shane 27M for 2 years. The relationship was a normal relationship, except nobody knew about it. Because I'm a bigger girl and I've never been in a relationship, I didn't push the issue. After 2 years of Shane living with me, I came home to all of his belongings gone. I tried to call him, but he blocked my phone number and blocked me on Snapchat. He completely ghosted me. I find out through a mutual friend that he was in a public relationship with a woman named Jess. It hurt, but I couldn't change anything, so I just accepted it. 3 weeks ago, a year after he ghosted me, I heard he was supposed to marry Jess, but he caught her cheating. I also heard that his grandfather passed away last month. Last night I ran into him at the grocery store. He walked up to me and said, "Hey, how have you been?" I looked at him funny and said, "I'm sorry. Do I know you?" He was stunned. After a second, I walked past him and continued on my way. I told a mutual friend who said that I was cruel and mean for doing that when he's going through a rough time. That friend doesn't know about the secret relationship. Am I the asshole? AITAH for not paying child support for our nephew? My nephew, 15, and his sister are now living with me because of some stuff I won't get into. Before he came to live with me, my nephew got a girl, also 15, pregnant. She gave birth to the baby a bit over 4 months ago, so the girl's mom wants me and my husband to pay child support as they are unable to get money from my nephew's parents. She tried to get a child support order to include us, but because of the type of placement we have, my husband and I are not legally responsible for paying child support here. My nephew is still responsible for paying child support, but he can't because he is unable to get a job. He can't get a job because he needs a work permit from his school, but they won't give it to him because of his age and because he's not doing good in school. So we're just trying to focus on catching him up. The girl's mom is still insisting we should pay since we're in a better financial position than them. To be honest, I just feel like we're already doing enough caring for my nephew and niece in this situation. Because of the type of placement we have, we don't get money for them either, so we are paying for them out of our own pockets. Of course, we wouldn't make them feel bad about that, but paying for another kid, and one we never see, feels like too much. I should probably add, we never see the baby because we live several states away. This is another issue for the mom since it means my nephew and us are unable to help with childcare. The mom has actually said they would be better off if we had let our nephew go into the system, which honestly may be true for them, but we've heard such horrible things happening to kids in the system. I know he is a dad now, but he is still a kid, and someone has to look out for his welfare too. AITAH for not allowing my wife to go through my sister's personal diary? A couple years ago, my sister started writing her thoughts and feelings on a personal diary after her therapist recommended it. Last week, my sister gave me this diary and said she wanted me to read it, but it was only meant for me. I was surprised and asked her why, and she said she wanted someone else in the world to know her true thoughts and feelings, and that person was me. I have started reading it in my free time, and it definitely is very personal, and I kind of need to take a breather occasionally and drink water. My wife, however, is very curious about it and wants to read it too, but I have given my wife a hard no and told her that's a massive invasion of privacy. My wife was very surprised, and we've had a lot of discussions on it, but I have a very hard stance on it, and there is just no way I'll allow her to read the diary. AITAH? AITAH for expecting to use my living room on my time off work. My girlfriend and I live together, and I work from home the majority of the time, whereas she only works from home around twice a week on average. I have a home office, and my girlfriend has desk in the other spare room but chooses work in the living room. Over Christmas, we're both off between Christmas Eve and New Year's Day, but I also put leave in for the 2nd and 3rd of January, so I don't go back until the 6th. She asked what I was planning to do with my days off, and I said I'd likely spend them relaxing since Christmas is quite busy, and we have a few things planned, so it will be nice to have a few days to myself, to relax and play some video games and read since I'll be buying some games and books for myself near Christmas. She mentioned that she'll be home for both the 2nd and 3rd and has meetings on both of those days. I told her it's fine and that I'd be using a headset anyway, so she wouldn't be able to hear anything. She said she'd rather I wasn't in the room since it might be distracting for her. I suggested she either use her desk then or she can use my office. She refused and said she prefers the living room, but I just told her I'm not getting kicked out of a shared space on my days off. I said she can either accept I'm going to be in the room with a headset on or use one of the other rooms. She said I was being unfair and that I should find something else to do, but I refused and told her I have as much right to use the living room as she does and that I'm using it for its actual purpose, whereas she has multiple other rooms she can use. She said her work should come first, but I pointed out I'm not stopping her working. AITAH for expecting to use my living room on my time off work?